Over on the East Coast, hundreds of people had to leave their homes. Glauert has been following rescue and relief efforts in Yilan and joins us now.
So we're here at a township office in Suao. It's doubling as an evacuation shelter and a centre for relief efforts. Here we're just about 20 kilometres away from where that typhoon made landfall, bringing those huge winds, gusts of more than 100 kilometres per hour, big waves and of course torrential rain. At this township office, more than 20 people have had to stay the night because it's not safe for them to stay in their homes, and we've been talking to those that have been seeking shelter here. 55-year-old Lili Chuan is counting the cost of Typhoon Gaemi. Both her house and this restaurant she owns with her husband on Taiwan's east coast were in the path of the deadly storm. Just recovering from heart surgery, she doesn't know how she'll be able to afford both her mounting medical bills and these repairs.
也不晓得糟糕，出那个屋顶这个盖的都破掉，里面那个是水泥的都裂开，因为砸下来不晓得铁皮怎么砸，都要全拆起来。啊，我心情，我不会讲了，因为我加上心脏不好，现在这样子我。
Lee spent the night on the floor of this township office, sheltering from the torrential rain and gusty winds of 100 kilometres per hour with others from her village. Evacuation centres like this are housing the hundreds of people that have been displaced by the typhoon across the country. And Taiwan's military have been taken off scheduled annual war games to help bring people to safety. But the people of Yilan are bracing themselves for the economic shock of this typhoon. With a population of more than 400,000, rural Yilan relies on rice farming, fishing and tourism for much of its economy. But fields are now flooded and ships were forced to shelter in harbours. Typhoon Gaemi is now heading away from this area, but officials warn that continued heavy rain is increasing the risk of landslides, especially with mountain slopes here already destabilised by a magnitude 7.4 earthquake in April.
所以，因为台湾发生土石的状况，其实都这个伤亡人数都非常多，所以他们也有这样警觉啦。所以我们在跟他劝导通知的时候，他们也都愿意。我想这个是为了自己的这个生命的安全。
Gaemi is the strongest storm to make landfall here in nearly a decade, leaving its mark on this fertile area known for producing some of the best rice and seafood in the country. Nature's bounty now violently disrupted by the elements. So aside from those hundreds that have been evacuated, there's also been extensive damage to property and infrastructure. We've seen signs ripped off buildings, we've seen roofs ripped off buildings, we've seen toppled trees on almost every road that we've driven through. And of course, there's also damage to buildings to the extent that some of them are deemed unsafe for people to live in. On top of that, more than 20,000 homes have lost electricity over the last few hours. Most of that is being restored now. And the typhoon is, of course, moving away from this area. It's heading west towards China. So officials here are hopeful that they can start reopening some of those mountain roads that they closed for safety and restoring rail services to their full capacity. But word from officials here is there is still a lot of danger out here and for people to stay off the streets as they get on with the job of clearing up the mess.